Hello, my amazing Year 3 mathematicians. Today we're going to do some recapping of the 4 and the 8 times table, and we're going to look in more detail at arrays. And arrays are a really good way of showing multiplication. Okay, so we're going to be multiplying by 4 and we're going to be multiplying by 8. So let's get ourselves warmed up. You should have your whiteboard ready for this. I was really annoyed, okay? I had a 100 square from 1 to 100. But for some reason, when I copied it over, there were missing numbers. So I'm going to pause the video now, and you are going to see if you can work out what numbers are missing. Ready? Pause and go. All right, so I've just spent my time working it out as well, and I hope you've all done the same. I know that a 100 square, it goes to the right, okay, so it goes this way in ones, and it also goes down in tens. Like, for example, 18 plus 10 is 28, plus 10 is 38. And if it goes this way in ones, I know that this number here should be 37. Do you agree with me? Let's reveal the missing numbers. First up, did you get those? Did you get 2, 3, 12, and 13? Yes, I was right. It was 37, 47, and 57. What about down here? What would these be? If I add 10 to 61, what would this number be? Or if I count in ones and I follow 70, what would it be? Yeah, you're right. Well done. And then the last one, well, I know what this number is, right? This number's got to be 100 because it's the end of my square. Ta-da! Brilliant job. Well done. I hope we're ready. We're ready for multiplying. Take a look at this sequence. What am I counting in? Is it going up? Am I adding? Or is it going down? Well, let's take a look how we find out. We have some missing numbers, okay? So we need to look at 2 that are together to work out the rule. Now, if my number's getting bigger, I'm gonna be adding. And how many do I need to add to get this number? 4 plus 4. Okay, so it's jumping in 4s. I would like you now to pause the video and see if you can work out my missing numbers. Go on, do it now, pause. All right, I'm not gonna reveal just yet. I think I've got another sequence ready for you. Here we go. Okay, so let's look at this one. This one, it looks like, okay. So this one I've worked out that I'm decreasing every time, aren't I? It's getting smaller, which means I'm subtracting every time. But what am I subtracting? 44 take away something equals 40. Or 44 take away 4. Now let me just check, because there's another number here, let me just check that this is also subtract 4. So 40, 39, 38, 37, yeah. Which means this one, I'm going to take away 4. And it means this one, I'm going to take away 4. And hopefully if I get the right answer, when I take away 4, it will give me this answer. Okay, pause right now. See if you can work out those missing numbers. Can you? Are you sure? Okay, last one for number patterns for the 4 times table. There's a clue there. So let's check out the numbers that are together and see what the rule is. Here we have a number getting bigger, which means I'm adding. Here we have a number getting bigger, which means I'm adding. But what am I adding each time? What's the rule? Well, 36, if I count on, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. I'm adding 4. So let's just check here to see. Yeah, it does, look. So that means I'm adding 4 each time. So this number here plus 4 makes 24. All right, last ones before I reveal the answers. Whoa. The answer to the first row. So check with me. You may have done this. This number here should have been 12. And this number here should have been 20. Guys, all of these numbers are in the 4 times table. Okay? 1 times 4, 2 times 4, 3 times 4, 4 times 4, 5 times 4, 6 times 4. Okay, this one, do you remember we were subtracting? So I'm going to start this end and I'm going to take away 4. So you should have got 32. And this one, if I take away 4, well, if I take away 2, it gets me to 50. So if I take away 2 more, my answer should have been 48. Now you should have got that. Well done if you did. And then the last one, do you remember? We were adding 4. So here we've got 20, because 20 plus 4 is 24. And here we have 32. So I hope you got those. Well done if you did. Let's move on. Okay, so I want you to tell me which numbers are in the 4 times table. Do you know? Do you know your 4 times table? Are you sure? How can you work them out? How do you know which ones might be in the 4 times table? Pause now before I reveal the answers. I want to know how many there are. I'll give you a clue. No, I won't. I'm going to make this difficult. Which numbers are in a 4 times table? Okay, so you should have got the answer of 4 is in the 4 times table, because 1 lot of 4 is 4. You probably got 24 as well, and you probably got 40 because 40 is 10 times 4. But were there any more? I am super impressed if you got 80. 80 is in the 4 times table because look, if 40 is, and we double it, so for example, 10 times 4 is 40, which means if we double it to get 80, it means 20 lots of 4 give us 80. So a huge well done if you got that. I'm super impressed. That was really hard. Okay, now we're going to look at, oh, I revealed them. There we go. How do we know a number's in the 4 times table? Well, the last digit of the number is even. Okay, so what that means is in the ones column, it will end in a 0, a 2, a 4, a 6, or an 8. So if your number ends in any of those, the chances are it might be in the 4 times table. If the last 2 digits are in the 4 times table, it can be divided by 4. So for example, 12 is in the 4 times table. So that means that 412 is in the 4 times table. 32 is in the 4 times table, which means 4,632 is also in the 4 times table. Okay, that's just a really cool fun fact for you. If the last 2 digits are in the 4 times table, then it means your number is. Okay, new number patterns. This time I'm not going to tell you what to do. You know, don't you? You know that you need to look at numbers that are close together and you need to work out whether they're increasing, which means we're adding, or whether they're decreasing, which means you're subtracting. So here's the 3. I want you to tell me the missing numbers. Okay. Pause the video. Give yourself time to work out what the missing numbers are. Ready to shout them at your screens so that I can hear you. I want to hear. What's that number? Okay, so as you can see, the first one was +8. okay? And you can see that I've already filled in what your answer should be. So give yourself a massive pat on the back if you got those missing numbers. The next one, I think the next one was getting smaller, wasn't it? So here we needed to take away 8, because I know if I have 48 and I take 8 away, that leaves me with nothing. So we were taking away 8 on this one, which means this number here should have been 24, and this number here should have been 56. Super if you got that. Massive well done. Look at the next one. This is a tough one. I need to work out the difference here. Well, first of all, I know I'm adding because it's getting bigger. Same as here. Oh, hold on. This one's nice and easy. If I have 80, okay, and I add 8 to it, it becomes 88. So I'm adding 8 here. Let me just check. So here I need to count on 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. 8. Which means this number here should be 48. Did you get that? Did you? And this one here, if I add 8 to it, I should have 72. I can hear some of you cheering along because you got that. Well done. Super well done. All right. Same again. We're warming our brains up. We're thinking about it. Which numbers here are in the 8 times table? Pause the video now and work it out. Which ones are in the 8 times table? How do you know? Super duper. 16 was in there. 24. 48. Any more? Was that it? And 80. 10 times 8 is 80. Okay, 10 lots of 8 make 80. Super well done if you got those. Same as before, usually the last digits are even if it's in the 8 times table, okay? So that we know that. And if the last 3 numbers are in the 8 times table, so 8 is and 24 is, your number will be in the 8 times table. Which picture shows 2 times 8? Which picture shows 8 times 2? Now these are called arrays, okay? Now, you saw a few of these last week, so I'll show you how we work it out. This one here shows 2 times 8, and this one here shows 8 times 2. And the reason we do that is we look at the first number, which here is 2, so we count down 2. 1, 2. And here is an 8, so let me just count across to check that it's 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. So this array here shows me 2 times 8, whereas this one shows 8 times 2 because I look and I count down 2, 4, 6, 8, and I count across 2. So this one here shows me 8 times 2. So we look at the first number and we count down, and we look at the next number and we count across. Okay, so see if you can use that to help you with the next few. Are you ready? What does this show? Count down, count across, and tell me which calculation this picture shows. You guys are superstars. So here it showed 3, 2, 4, 6, 8, which means the calculation was 3 times 8. The last thing you need to do is work out the product, and the product is the answer. Okay, so you can count the squares here and you will know your answer was 24. Super well done if you got it the right way round. Remember, we count down and then we count across. This one is down, this one is across. Okay, I want you to really try and remember that when we come to arrays. Check out this one. What does this show? It's different because it looks different. So what does it show? It shows 8 going down, 3 going across, which means this calculation shows 8 times 3, which is the same as 3 times 8, but it looks different. This means that I have 8 groups of 3. Okay, and the answer means I've got 24 in total. Okay, now I'm not going to do any help. Now it's over to you. What does this show? Pause the video, work it out, and scream it at me when you know. Awesome. This one shows 4 times 8. And super, if you got the product, the answer is 32. Okay, moving on. I think you guys have got the hang of arrays because this is what we're doing today. Check this one out. Remember, we go down, then we go across. How many here? What does it show? Ooh, notice that this array makes a square because we're doing 3 times 3, and your product is 9. Moving on, what does this array show? Remember, we're going down, then across. It shows 2 groups of 4, which means in total, I have 8 paper clips. Okay, so here, when it says 3 and 4, what we need to do is remember that because 3 and 4 is the same as 3 times 4, and we want to find the product, which is the answer. So I'm going to color in 3, and I need to make sure I've got 4 going across. So I've already done 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, I've done a very bad job of scribbling in 3 times 4. 3 going down, 4 going across, which means my product is 12. Can you see if you can do the next one for me? Don't worry because you don't have the squares, but just see if you can draw your own array, which is super cool if you can. You can just do dots. So what would 4 and 3 look like? Can you draw it for me? I'm going to draw it using dots. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to make sure I have 3 going across. It doesn't have to be a work of art. It has to be the right thing. So we have 4 and 3, which means 4 times 3, which equals 12. This is a really super way of helping us out with our timetables using an array, okay? So let me talk you through your activity. You're gonna have to create me arrays that look like this. So you're gonna get a number and you need to draw the array. So let me show you what I'm talking about. This is what your activity looks like. So here, I want you to read the question. So it says 3 groups of 2, and you're going to draw the array however you want to. 3 groups of 2. And then down here it says 3 lots of 2 equals. Okay, so let me count. It equals 6. 3 groups of 2 equals 6, which means 3 times 2 is 6. And the product of 3 and 2 is 6, and the product means answer. So let me just show you why this one is 3 groups of 2. Because if I highlight 3 groups of 2, you'll see what's different with this one. Are you ready? This one we're going to do 2 groups of 3. 1 group, 2 groups, and there's 3 in each group. So what do you notice about the answer? What do you notice about the product? The product's the same, but this time my groups are slightly different. So what's my answer? 2 lots of 3 equals 6. 2 groups of 3 equals 6. 2 times 3 is 6. And the product of 2 and 3 is 6. Awesome. You have many, many, many to show me. And I really look forward to seeing your arrays. If you need help, remember you can see your teacher in the workshop and we will be able to help you.